be in when they're in. They'll be fine. Barbara's showing them the kitchen. Because she's proud of that kitchen. She should be. And the bathrooms too. Excuse me? August 9th through after Labor Day. Just day after Labor Day. Cantor Schwartz will be covering for those for Shabbat. And I don't think we're going to get the Monday and Thursday meetings covered. Michael Cohen, I hate to have him come in and have everybody in here. So we're not going to, it's not going to happen for a while.
It'll be summer break.
It's summer break, I know, it's terrible. But he complained about that the last two times when there was nobody here. Yeah. And he can't do the online stuff. So it's either, so if nobody's here, then nobody's here. That's it. Yeah. All right, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Agudath Israel Etz Ahayem Synagogue here in Montgomery, Alabama. I am Rabbi Scott Kramer. Welcome to those in person. Thank you, Betty, for getting people motivated to come back to the show. So, and Emily too, and Barbara and her family are here. So this is great. We are praying out of Sidor Lev Shalem. The Sidor is downloadable as a PDF file from our synagogue's website. We begin tonight's service, page 5, with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Again, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to everyone. I have kids here, so I have to give them something.
What's your cutoff age?
After bar almost every day. There you go. Okay. When you get when that's finished.
Say grab one for what?
I cut it off when you're close to my ears.
Are you gonna go again?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. You sure? Okay. And no, you guys don't get it. Sorry. We'll have a second round later on. All right, we continue page 11 with Psalm 95. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena ladonai. Naria, naria, letzor yeshenu, nekadma fana betoda. Naria, naria, letzor yeshenu, bizmirot naria lo. Alechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena ladonai. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, nekad mafana betoda. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, bizmirot naria. Hello. We continue in English responsively. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector, filled with thanks. Let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai who formed us. For Adonai is our God, and we are God's flock, sheep in God's caring hands. If only would listen today to God's voice and not become hard-hearted, like the people at Meribah, like the time at Massah in the desert when your ancestors tried me and tested me, though they had seen what I had wrought. For 40 years I was troubled by that generation, and I said, these are a people whose hearts have gone astray. They do not know my way, so in anger I swore they would not enter my rest. Arbaim shanakut bedor va'omayam to'e levavhem lehem lo yadirachai asher nishpati v'api im yavon Hail menuchati, page 13, Psalm 96. Shiru ladonai shir chadash, shiru ladonai kol haaretz, shiru ladonai baruch shamo, basru meyom leyom yeshuato, sapru vagoyim gevodo, bechol amim nifliotav, ki gadol Adonai, o mehulal miyod. No ra'u au ko Elohim lai ki ko Elohe ha'amim elilim v'Adonai shamayim asa had ve'hadar lefanav oz ve'tiferet b'mikdasho avu l'Adonai mishpachot amim avu l'Adonai kavod v'oz avu l'Adonai kevod shemo seu mincha uvahu lechatzrod av lai shtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh chilu mipanav kol haaretz imrum vagoyim Adonai malach aftikon tevel balatimot yadina min b'meisharim yismechu hashamayim v'tagil haaretz ayir amayamu melo yalu sadai v'chol asher bo lai az yiranenu kol hatziyar lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek v'yamim b'emunato yalai Yai lai lai lai, ya lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai. We continue page 15 with Psalm 97. Emily, would you lead us, please? Darkness surround the divine, righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming siegers round about. The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory. Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exult as you, Adonai, pass judgment.
You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine.
Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful.
Life is sound for the righteous, and joy for the upright. Rejoice at Adonai with righteous people, and magnify as you pronounce the divine name.
Or zaru la tzadik v'lishra lev simcha simchu tzadikim barunai v'hodu lezecher kadisho. Page 17, Psalm 98. Mizmor shiru ladonai shir chadash ki niflo tasa hoshia lo yemino uzaro wakocho adia Adonai Yeshuato le'ena goyim gilad tzidkato Zachar chestav emunato levei Yisrael ra'u cholav se'aretz et Yeshuat Eloheinu horiu l'Adonai kol ha'aretz pitzchum v'ranenu v'zameru zamru l'Adonai bechinor v'kol zimara b'chatzot rod v'kol shofar horiu lifnei ha'melech Adonai hiramayam u'maloho tevel v'yoshveva neharot yimcha uchaf Yachad arim yiranenu lifnei Adonai kiva lishbot haaretz yishbot tevel betzedek ve'amim b'meisharim yalai lalai 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 yalai lalai lalai yalai lalai 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 Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 la. We continue page 19, Psalm 99. Joy, would you lead us?
Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the cherubim makes the world quake.
Adonai is great in Zion above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, all-inspiring, Holy One.
The sovereign strength lies in the love of justice, and you forge the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly. Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name, called to you, and you answered them. You spoke to them from amidst the cloud. They kept your covenant and the law you gave them. You answered them, Adonai our God. You are a forgiving God to them, even as you punish them for their transgressions.
Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahar kadisho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We rise, page 21, Psalm 29. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod vos, havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai el hamayim el hakavod, hirim Adonai el mayim rabim, kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai be'adar, Kol Adonai shover arazim ve'shaber Adonai et al ze halvanon, vayarkidem kemo egel, Livanon v'siryon kemo vendrehemim, Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot, vayechesot yaharot, ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למבול ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. את עמו בשלום. You may be seated. We continue page 23. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל עם יחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוכה הפכה. רב לך שבט בימי קבחה, ויחמו עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני shabbat nikabila. We rise, we turn to the last stanza of Lechadudi, page 25, and we face towards the west to greet the Shabbat bride. Bawi v'shalom ateret bala, kam besimcha uvetzala, toch emune am segula. Bawi chala lecha dodi lekrat kala pnei Shabbat nikabela. You may be seated. We continue with Psalm 92, page 27. Betty, would you lead us responsively, please?
It is good to thank you, Adonai, and sing your name most high, to proclaim your love and victory, your faithfulness each night.
Finger the lute, pluck the harp, let the sound of the lyre rise up.
Be glad to me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork. How wonderful are your works, Adonai, how slow in your designs. The arrogant do not understand, the foolish not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evildoer blossoms, only to be destroyed forever. But you, Adonai, are exalted for all time. Surely your enemies, Adonai, surely your enemies will perish. All who commit evil will be scattered. As a wild bull raises up its horns, you raise my head high, anointed with fresh oil. As my enemies gather against me, my gaze remains steady, for my ears listen and hear. The righteous flourish like a date palm, thrive like cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai, and flourish in the house of courtyards. In old age they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no flaw.
Tzadika tamar yifrach, ki erez balvanon yiske shetulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim yeyu leagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri v'lo avlatabo. Page 29, Psalm 93. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you were enthroned, you are eternal. In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time. Again, Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Welcome. It's so nice to see a sanctuary full of live people. During the pandemic, I had this idea that I was going to take pictures of our congregants and then make a big poster and stick them on the seats so I can remember what everybody did. Anyway, I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad those that are online are here and in person as well. I came across two writings from colleagues that I would like to share and expand on a bit because they each talk about a concept or two concepts that are apropos for life and for Shabbat, actually. The first comes from a book that I often quote from at the end of services called Sacred Intentions, which contains daily inspiration to strengthen the spirit based on Jewish wisdom by Rabbi Kerry Olitsky and Rabbi Lori Foreman. This is the entry for July 16th, just as best for today, which starts with a quote from Isaiah 2:11. The haughtiness of the individual shall be made to bow down. God above shall be exalted on that day. So I admit it, while I try not to be arrogant, sometimes certain behavior that marked my adolescence creeps up on me. It is the Yetzer Hara, the inclination to do bad or to do evil. That maturity helps me keep in check. So I turn to the prophets for inspiration, guidance, and loving rebuke. Our daily liturgy constantly repeats this notion of Isaiah. The daily recitation of these prayers centers me and focuses me each day. They are a further reminder that God is above and we are below, reaching heavenward. They remind me of our relationship with God, to the responsibilities implied by our covenantal relationship, of the need to be humble and modest. So each day I look to the sky and then bow my head in reverence until that final Messianic day comes, when all our heads shall be raised up, and there will be no one and no thing that will force our heads to be forced down. A title for this reading is called Admitting Arrogance. Wow, I needed to hear that this week. I opened my mouth twice this past week, and after both, I quickly realized they were words or tone of voice that I should not have used. Those of you who know me, that when I make a mistake, usually with my mouth, I will almost always apologize without qualification. I did say almost. There are times when I didn't realize that the tone of my voice or words actually had a negative effect, and only much later come to find out that it really did hurt someone. That is what the high holidays are for, to make amends, to admit arrogance. This is an acknowledgement of the Yetzer Hara in each and every one of us, that inclination towards doing bad or evil, or just to do the wrong thing. Then I came across a writing by another colleague, Rabbi Michael Gold, who talked about the opposite inclination, the Yetzer Hatov, the inclination to do good or the right thing. He starts by quoting from Numbers 32:17. We will hasten as shock troops in the van of the Israelites until we have established them in their home, while our children stay in the fortified towns because of the inhabitants of the land. What about the good inclination, the Yetzer HaTov? Human beings are born with two inclinations, and it seems fair that we give the good inclination its due. What is the good inclination? In this week's Torah portion, Matot Maseh, it's a double portion, we complete the book of Numbers, we see the good inclination at work. The Israelite tribes were about to cross the Jordan River to begin the difficult task of conquering the land. 2.5 tribes, Reuben, Gad, and half of the tribe of Manasseh, decide that life was better on the eastern side of the Jordan. They asked to stay behind and raise their flocks without joining the others. Moses forbade them from staying behind. It would undermine the morale of the other tribes. Only if they join their fellow Israelites in crossing the Jordan and conquering the land will they be allowed to return and settle on the east bank of the Jordan. The good inclination is when we set aside our appetite for immediate gratification because we have a vision of some greater good. In this case, the greater good was the importance of all the tribes staying united and conquering the land together. Today, there are countless examples of controlling our appetite for some greater good. The good inclination may mean setting aside our anger and showing self-control, working to change the circumstances that made us angry in the first place. The good inclination may mean setting aside our greed and giving a portion of our money to charity or some other worthy cause. The good inclination always begins with a sense of some greater advantage to be reached by controlling our appetites. Life is a struggle between good and the evil inclination. Our appetites cry out, we want what we want, and we want it now. Yet we carry with us a vision of some greater good. The good inclination may be as simple as avoiding the extra helping of dessert, getting up early to go to the health club, tackling a difficult book that will help us grow, taking a class in Hebrew reading, or some other area of Jewish life, giving our spouse an extra compliment. The good inclination always means do the right thing, even if that is not what our appetite tells us to do. The Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, teaches that our soul has different levels. The lowest level is the nefesh, mere consciousness. The second level is ruach, the animal soul, our emotions and appetites. It is the source of the evil inclination. The third level, the level that rises above the animal in us, is the neshama. It is this level of the soul that the Yetzer HaTov, the good inclination, lies. Like the 2.5 tribes in our portion, we can set our appetites aside to achieve some greater good. So for this week, I acknowledge both inclinations in myself. I am trying to make amends when my Yetzer HaTov gets the better of, Yetzer Hara gets the better of me. I will try to concentrate and enhance my Yetzer HaTov. Shabbat Shalom. And we continue with Ma'ariv. We turn to page 39a and we rise for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai Mevorach. Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'oed. be seated. Baruch atah Adonai, our God and sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzivaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. U'mahavir yom u'mevi laila, mavdil ben yom u'vein laila, Adonai Tzivaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu l'olam v'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hamari v'aravim. Page 40. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadita al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachveinu v'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam v'oed ki hem chayenu v'orech yameinu u'va'ohem nege yomam v'layla v'yavatcha tasim mimenu la'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ho'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinanatam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shachpecha v'kumecha kshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotofot beinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha v'hayahim shamoa tishma'el matzata asher anochi mitzvotchem yom yabam. Vayomer Adonai Moshe lemor daber El bnei Yisrael v'yamarta lehem v'yasu lehem tzitzit al kanfei v'gnehem ledoratam v'natnu al tzitzit hakana petiol techelet v'yalachem letzitzit oritem oto uzchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam v'lo tatu acharei l'vavachem v'acharei nechem asher tem zonim achareihem leman dizgaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kadoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etachem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem. Page 43a. This is our enduring affirmation, binding on us that Adonai is our God and there is none other, and we, Israel, are God's people. God is our sovereign, redeeming us from earthly rulers, delivering us from the hand of all tyrants, bringing judgment upon our oppressors and just retribution upon all our mortal enemies, performing wonders beyond understanding and marvels beyond all reckoning. God places us among the living, not allowing our steps to falter, and leads us past the false altars of our enemies, exalting us above all those who hate us. Adonai avenged us with miracles before Pharaoh, offered signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. God brought Israel from its midst to lasting freedom and led them through the divided waters of the Sea of Reeds. As their pursuers and enemies drowned in the depths, God's children beheld the power of the divine. They praised and acknowledged God's name. Page 44. ומלכותה ברצום כי בליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל הנשירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדור בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה מלכותך ובניך בוקיים לפני משה זה לי ענו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלוג מתחזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 45. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשם ושמור צאתנו בין לחיים ושלומי אתה ויד עולם ופעוסלין סוכת שלומך ברוך את אדוני הבורא סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We rise for Vishamru, page 46. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימלך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם לעולמי עלמיא יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קדושה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן ביומה Vimaru. Amen. We continue with the silent Amidah, pages 47 through 52. Pray in Hebrew, pray in English, or the best prayer of all, the language of the heart. you've finished, you may be seated. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol shalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol shalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. Tasim Leolam. And we rise, page 56, as the ark is open for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'chol l'teit gdula li'yotzeh b'reshit shalo asan k'goyeh ha'atzot ולא שמענו כמשמחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקראו בשמיים ממעל. ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, עמד מלכנו הווה זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשיבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינו.